Television, cable, satellite TV, all of it could get Laika around 2012. That's when we have the peak of the sunspot cycle. That's when the sun's magnetic field flips. North pole and south pole flip, releasing a shockwave of radiation, which will then hit the Earth minutes later, potentially wiping out a good chunk of our satellite communication.
Did I not kill it with the Unsolved Mysteries opening thing? Anyways, for those of you who don't know me, I don't care if you don't know me. I don't care if you like me. Don't care if you watch this video. I generally just don't care about you. So if you want to listen, listen. If not, take a hike. What have you. Anyways, in today's first installment of Ryan Jacobs Mystery News, I'll be touching on just a few things I've got rolling around in this beautiful mind. Okay? I don't want to come off as too egotistical or anything, but you're going to notice from time to time during this film, it's just going to cut off and blatantly go to other stuff because I really don't know what I'm doing. But hey, I've got something to say, you've got something to say, so why don't we all get out there and say something, okay? So anyways, my first order of business, I am Ryan Jacobs, great nephew of the late, great Danny Thomas, founder of the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, and that brings me to my first piece of news. Here's some footage.
Talk about the life and the work of Danny Thomas and the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, which is located in Memphis, Tennessee. This year marks the 50th anniversary of St. Jude's Hospital and what would have been the 100th birthday of Danny Thomas.
I've come across a nice little piece of footage from Nat King Cole's funeral nearly 50 years ago in 1965, in which my uncle, Danny Thomas, appears to be on a pretty pimp razor flip cell phone like almost 50 years ago, okay? I know your math will be better on this one than mine, so get off my case. But anyways, I'm going to show the footage. I'm going to pause the footage. I'm going to let you make up your own mind.
And it might have ended right then at the start. Nat Cole was more than just a crooner of romantic ballads.
Yeah, and for those of you haters out there, this is what a walkie-talkie looked like in 1960s, okay? But let me tell you this. Where I go from here is that to have a cell phone, especially in 1965, the first thing that comes to mind is, where is the satellite in which you'd be communicating with, okay? Where's the satellites in 1965? And that brings me to another article which I happened to stumble across in my adventures throughout the internet. That's right, adventures. Should I get the Indiana Jones hat on? I happened to come across an article from 1954 regarding a couple objects that we found floating around out there in space, and I think most of you conspiracy theorists know that what I'm getting at is the Black Knight satellite.
As yet unexplained dark fireworks that hit our sun on June 7th, weakening our planet's defenses to a level never seen before. Important to note about the dark fireworks experienced by our sun on June 7th were that they were so powerful it led Alex Young, a solar physicist at the Goddard Space Flight Center, to declare about this event, "We've never seen anything like it. How did the sun appear to be blowing itself to bits?"
What?
It's the only thing. Just to be informed, I am sitting here on a Friday night doing nothing with my broken foot, injured on the set of Martial Vengeance. Check it out, coming to a YouTube near you. The HD previews are out. It's awesome. Kung Fu Karate, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Okay? Ryan Jacobs, coming to you live from the Ryan's Den in Toledo, Ohio. And if you're wondering, what's he on? I got a broken foot. It's Vicodin. And it's prescribed, so... He had a cell phone, okay? Almost 50 years ago. A pretty pimp one, too. You can barely see it, okay? But it's the look on his face, like he was just talking to a ghost there at Nat King Cole's funeral. That really gets me, okay? Now, we're talking about a man who prayed to St. Jude. The saint you're supposed to pray to on hard times. He prayed, and he basically had his prayers answered shortly after, and he fulfilled his promise and created the biggest St. Jude's memorial the world has ever seen. It's the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. You see a freaking commercial about it when you go to see any movie in the United States, and probably the rest of the world too.
It's been several years now, but the memory of your face won't let me go, won't let me go. And every time I turn around, something reminds me of the way it used to be. And even though seasons change, there's one thing that remains the same. I can feel it when the rain pours down. I can see it when the sun's in the sky. I can hear it when the wind blows. You're all around me. Just when I don't think I'm gonna make it, I know I'm gonna pull through, and I start thinking of you. Your love is all around me.
Anyways, so my conspiracy, mystery, whatever you want to call it, that I seem to be piecing together here is that he had a cell phone, and was he communicating with the Black Knight satellite? Who put that there? Did aliens put that there? Did the CIA put that there? Who knows? All I know is my uncle was a member of the elite, but the more prestigious side of Hollywood, not the whole Illuminati side of Hollywood. The prestigious, okay? You know, he was friends with the Rat Pack, but he wasn't quite in the Rat Pack. He was above all that, okay? One more eerie piece of evidence that I'd like to offer upon you is one of your favorite astronauts, Buzz Aldrin, on C-SPAN. And he kind of seems a little worried to say it, but he does say that we have found a monolith people. You've seen 2001: A Space Odyssey. He says they have found a giant rectangular thing, a monolith, on the moon Phobos of Mars, okay? Here's some more footage.
We should go boldly where man has not gone before. Fly by the comets, visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars. There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there? Who put that there? Well, the universe put it there. If you choose, God put it there.
But it does bring up another mystery in mind connected to all this. The time traveler. Seen with like a giant generic cell phone, wearing some weird clothing in the middle of Charlie Chaplin films, you know, in the early 1900s. We're talking like 1905 or some business like that. Here's some more footage. So let's piece all this together, people, okay? We all know that sooner or later, time travel is most likely going to be possible. I mean, we found Einstein's theoretical space-time vortex just outside our atmosphere, and it just so happens to be exactly like he theorized, okay? So there is a time, my friends, when conspiracy theory becomes conspiracy fact. And that's what we'll be discussing here on Ryan Jacobs Mystery News. Yeah. So what I'm getting at is there's a lot going on out there that nobody gives the time of day. Okay? Not to mention the time of day does not exist. Time does not exist, people. We invented it. Just the fact that we spring forward and fall back. You gotta remember, Jesus didn't have a watch, okay? He didn't have a watch. He was a carpenter. He wasn't a clockmaker or whatever, but there were no watches back then. There were no time because time is like slavery, okay? You gotta clock in, you gotta clock out. Time does not exist. We should rise and fall with the sun. Many people don't understand this, but after the winter solstice, the 21st of December every year, in our northern hemisphere, the sun seems dead in the sky, okay? Until it's resurrected on the 25th, and it starts to make its climb back into the northern hemisphere until it's fully resurrected on the first day of spring, March 20th, which just happens to be my birthday. What else do I want to get to here? Yeah, the last 3 mega earthquakes happening in 188-day intervals. Since when did Mother Nature start making earthquakes happen in 188-day intervals? Something's not all that natural there. You are amused by Ryan Jacobs, Mystery News.
Cable, satellite TV, all of it could get Laika around 2012. That's when we have the peak of the sunspot cycle. That's when the sun's magnetic field flips. North Pole and South Pole flip, releasing a shockwave of radiation, which will then hit the Earth minutes later, potentially wiping out a good chunk of our satellite communications.